Hello, this is Samantha, and this is my lesson on complementary and alternative medicine. This is the last lesson in the lesson plan for linked learning, and it is the debate on the topic in ELA. So I've decided to do grade 10 because we have a lot of speaking and listening objectives for grade 10 that have to do with debate and developing those speaking and listening skills. So to overview the standards and the literacy strategy focus, students will be able to participate effectively in a range of collaborative discussions, respond thoughtfully to diverse perspectives, present information, findings, and supporting evidence clearly, concisely, and logically, and cite strong and thorough textual evidence to support analysis of what the text says explicitly as well as inferences drawn from the text. So this will occur in a planning stage for the debate, in which students will have worksheets in which they have their assigned position for the debate, depending on the side they're on and the task that they have in their side of the debate. And they will fill that out using the articles and the pieces and the texts that they have been handed out throughout the lessons, that they have fully understood from various contexts from all of the classes, and they will write out their position and write out the evidence they have made for that. Since this is a blocked schedule, this is 88 minutes, so there should be plenty of time for them to prepare just a brief explanation and debate. So based on the two language functions, argue and justify, students will argue for or against complementary and alternative medicine in an effective manner. This means they'll be using proper diction and sentence structure as they argue, concede, and refute. They will argue for or against complementary and alternative medicine in the respectful means of debate, so they will present information clearly and tactfully, and they will respond thoughtfully and concisely. And they will justify their argument using sound evidence and well-constructed claims. And they will be assessed based on their argumentative skills in the debate itself and using the worksheet that is handed out for their preparation. There will be informal and formative assessments based on students' participation in the debate, the fact that they're participating at all, and as the instructor walks around to ensure that everyone is participating. The language demands, I've compiled a list of vocabulary, so complementary and alternative medicine is definitely important for them to know and understand from their previous lessons. And then we're going to include the 4 portions of debate, so they have to understand what construction, resolution, cross, and rebuttal is as they learn how to debate and they debate each other. So the syntax demands are likely going to be forming claims and creating justification statements as they write it out on their worksheet and verbally achieve this. And discourse. They'll have to fill out a graphic organizer, speak in class with each other and in the debate setting in front of everyone. The only materials they'll need is the debate handout, so this is where they'll be filling everything out, and the rubric that will be gone over in class. So the prior knowledge, this is the very last lesson of the plan for linked learning. They have looked at this from several contexts throughout their classes, and this is meant to be the accumulation of their knowledge of this unit. And now they have their time to actually have an opinion on it, which includes their own background. So the transition from the previous activity, they'll be reminded of the essential question for the whole curriculum, and they'll be asked to take a position on the regulation of complementary and alternative medicine. In the hook, the teacher will access background knowledge by asking students to recall their last disagreement with a friend or family member. So this will get them thinking about arguing, and then we will go into expectations for arguing appropriately and respectfully. So that hook is actually going to lead into a discussion that is in a guided instruction and practice. And then there will be a transition in instruction, and this is when we'll go over the assignment and the rubric, the expectations. The scaffolding for this is the teacher needs to use precise explanatory language to assure understanding, so not just go through the rubric and the instructions as it's written on the paper, but explain specifically what the language means and what their expectations are. It needs to be noted that this task has remained rigorous. So the task isn't going to become any less rigorous for anybody. That challenge is maintained, but access to it and expectations for achievement level depend on individual student proficiency. And there will constantly be formative thumbs up, thumbs down to assure that everyone is on the same page. So during group work and research, they have 30 minutes to look at all of the articles that have been studied throughout the unit and fill out their portion of the worksheet with evidence and commentary. The handout will be assessed for evidence used and level of completion of the task. So there will be sentence frames on this graphic organizer for students that need it. And again, the explanatory language needs to be very precise. Now the debate task itself will be 2 20-minute debates in which the students will be assessed based on the evidence and proper debate structure and tactics used, and whether or not they responded thoughtfully and concisely with proper diction, concession, refutation, and sentence structure. The instructor will need to walk around during classroom preparation just to assure that everyone is actually prepared for the debate, and groups will be strategically placed to mix proficiency levels so that gifted students can teach the less proficient students, and therefore the proficient students can learn from those students. We don't want to keep the gifted students separate from the lower proficiency students. And during closure, the instructor will debrief the debating experiences just by asking the class what arguments were effective or ineffective, not specifically whose arguments, but what made them effective, and what makes an argument effective in general. Thank you so much.